rotating their support players in scrims and how they've been alternating them there. So I feel like Gen.G is obviously a tough opponent, and if they feel like they can potentially find an edge by switching out the supports, then I don't see any harm in trying it. But it's still a big uphill battle, especially with how game one went, and really just how Keen took over the game.
Yeah.
I think often Perfect has been pretty good at neutralizing, but I think Keen really, the way he was playing Rumble was capitalizing on that. Like, oh, you want to play neutral? Well, I'm going to print money on the back of that and then just be a monster in team fights. So
that is precisely what happened. The Azir going to be the second ban here, going to remain on the ban list, as the Jace also just definitely always going to be taken away. So need an Orianna ban, need a Malphite ban, and I guess if you wanted to keep it all the same, then an Ambassador ban could come through as well. That Ambassador ban should have been a Rumble, but hopefully KT have learnt from that one now. Let's see how this one's going to go, as this time around it is going to be Gen.G on the blue side. First pick priority over to KT, and we'll see whether they can make the most of it here. Speaking of making the most of it, a lot of time has now passed before that Orianna ban does come on through.
I also wonder, is there something you want to leverage as KT
ban
try and ban... What do you say?
You ban Silas, and then you force him to ban Malphite, and then you get one of the other things, like Ambessa.
Yeah, but is Ambessa like that crazy that you're like, oh, we first pick it?
They want Rise.
They want Rise, but Malphite's still open.
Huh. Well, Malphite has also lost every game he's played.
Okay, think about this, right? Think about this.
I'll try.
Gen.G ban Rise, right?
I'm thinking about it.
If KT first pick Malphite, you can just take Silas.
True.
And Silas is a flex. You know Canyon would play a jungle as well. I mean, King would probably even play at top. So you just take Silas and figure it out later.
Well, they banned the Malphite.
Okay, then it's Rise first pick.
That probably means that Chovy has a plan into said Rise. But I mean, I'm happy to write it in big letters into the box, because this one was pretty telegraphed. Let's see what the answer is going to be here, though.
I do like what KT have done to really cement this as like we're going for the strong first pick and we're trying to like limit options into it. To be fair, though, we haven't seen the Cassiopeia be 100% successful into the Rise, but definitely giving BDD the best tools possible, and he has often been the main character for KT.
It is weird, though, because Cassiopeia can wear shoes again.
Yeah, has changed things up.
Yeah, so it just doesn't make sense. Like, where does she wear them? Like, I don't know.
I also think Yunara in this position, like, Yunara game one can sometimes be a little finicky, just because you have things like... I mean, you look at the picks that were in game one, right?
Yeah,
Vi, Talia, Alistair, Rakan, but they're all gone now. So a lot more freedom for this. Does put pressure on KT to pick some lockdown for this. And Gen.G looking at the Anivia into the Rise. This is something we've seen as a counter into the Rise a few times in the past few years.
Yeah, this was actually at Worlds, something that Chovy managed to find a bit of success on as well. Sort of drifting around the meta during the end of last year.
Yeah, and it makes it a bit difficult because you really either want something that outranges it or something that can close the distance, but she's just so good at keeping things at bay. And KT picking Renekton, which, I mean, if you find a flank angle, sure, but otherwise, she can kind of just keep Renekton, kind of hold him. It's like when you put your arm out and hold someone's forehead.
Yeah. Yeah, the Renekton not exactly... It doesn't have very long arms.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's just going to be waggling his little arms.
Maybe
around.
related to a T-Rex.
Yeah, a little bit like that. He is a dinosaur, after all.
I do like the Wukong, though, but, you know, Wukong syncs really well with Rakan, and that's off the cards. I also think that, like, often into Yunara, we've seen, like, in the previous series, Nautilus was super heavily prioritized, but Nautilus into Anivia is so miserable.
Yeah, that does not sound like a lot of fun.
So horrible.
Can help him reset his dredge line, though, by putting up an extra wall.
Yeah, helpful.
There you go. Okay, it's a Scion that will be locked in here for Keen. Just going to neutralize the lane instead of going for anything fun. I was thinking maybe there was going to be a Gnar or a Kennen, but instead just decides to pick a Scion and provide as much space for Ruler as possible. It's kind of what this one is all about. Already a lot of peel tools available for this Yunara, and not a lot of range represented by KT.
Yep, this is just really solid front to back being solidified by Gen.G. It's going to be difficult to close the distance. Lulu ban coming out is no real surprise at all. We've seen Lulu, Yunara prioritize quite heavily. The question is, what are KT going to pick that's going to help close the gap? I feel like in terms of engaged supports, like Leona could make sense. Because obviously compared to other engaged supports who have to like try and close the distance and can be blocked out, she can throw the Solar Flare, stops the Glacial Storm from the Anivia. They're going to focus on AD carry bans, taking away the Aphelios and the Corki.
Well, let's see what this final ban is going to be. I imagine...
Are you worried about Bard, maybe?
Yeah, Brad could be an option.
Like, that can disrupt the engage.
It's Poppy instead.
For the Poppy again.
Well, I mean, there were no junglers locked in just yet. And so wanting to make sure that Canyon cannot play it. Also flexible into the support role at the same time. So no flexy shenanigans. But Gen.G, they have their first pick here after our last round of bans. And let's see what they are going to be locking away. Could be a support, could be a jungler. I imagine jungle is probably where they're going to look and then allow a rounding out of the bottom lane once they see exactly what KT are going to be running down there. And the Ambessa is what Canyon's looking at. And that will be locked in. That's a lot of power here out of the jungle. We saw Lucid go completely ballistic on this champion only recently.
Yeah, can farm pretty fast. And also, with a lot of sort of mid-range or short-range champions, you can kind of get stuck in and just melt them. Aiming, considering a Sivir, movement speed obviously nice if you're trying to close the distance, but is quite short-ranged. Ziggs is longer-ranged.
All right. Well, the Ziggs is going to be the decision.
So longer range, better at dealing with the Anivia by far, but not going to do much to the Scion. And the Nautilus, I would not want to play Nautilus into this composition.
Well,
good into the Yunara, though. I will say that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you cover everything other than the Yunara, then it feels like a slam dunk. Absolutely. Let's see what else is going to be paired alongside said Yunara, though, because... yeah, his time could be getting even worse as Duro is thinking about some horse pants and we'll be locking away the Rel. There it is.
We should get another look in the crowd of that horse.
Yeah, we do need the Duro horse back again. I imagine we will get a look in. We need to. Wait, can we see her? Maybe in the background behind Ryu there. Not actually the case. 2 former KT players actually coaching both teams. Wow. Kind of cool with Ryu and Score on the stage. We have generations of League of Legends here in front of us. Don't know whether generations is quite correct, as of course, you know, we're dealing with a little bit less time than that, but that's fine. It's what it feels like. And I'm worried for KT, like very worried for KT as far as this draft is concerned. I feel like Gen.G have so many tools. It's a well-rounded draft, and Ruler is just going to have so much protection in this game to just kind of do whatever the heck he wants.
Yeah, I think it's a tall task for KT. I mean, I think it's really hard to find a draft that's completely unwinnable, but I think it's going to be a hard task for Polu in particular on this Nautilus, playing into things like Anivia, Scion. You're such a squishy, engaged support, and you're kind of getting thrown into the mixer in this one.
Is that like Polu is like a cute little frog? Actually, really kind of like that. As here we are. I remember when that skin was banned, because the animations were just a little bit too powerful, but not to be the case anymore. It has been unleashed as KT, with this short-range draft and a Ziggs and a Dream, look to try and bring us to 6 games on the day. See whether they can. All right, KT fans in full voice here today. Let's see whether that's going to be enough to give them the gusto they need to pick up a victory and give us all of the League of Legends that we deserve and we want. I mean, it's a weekend, right? It's a Saturday. It's when we want to be enjoying as much LCK Cup as we possibly can.
It's also going to be the latest we've had weekend League of Legends in a while for LCK, because this is our first time having the late start for a long time.
It's going to be hard to know what day it is. It really did help me understand what time of the week it was.
Frame of reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now everything is just a 5 p.m. start. You know, I'll just never know. Don't ask me what day it is. If you ever need that information, I will not be able to help you. Especially when I'm running on very little sleep at the moment. As Canyon dashing around his jungle, he'll be starting on his Gromp. Well, starting on his blue. and heading from the blue side towards the bottom side of the map. Same can be said for Cuz here, though, who has gone red to Krugs. So both of them will be meeting on the bottom side scuttle. So he's going to be able to win that scuffle here. As Slurkle doing some work onto Polo, but you can see the wave is being held by Gen.G very comfortably for the moment. Not something you'd expect to go any other way with a Ziggs kind of composition. Aiming wanting to have a few more buttons and a bit more AP before he can just make this lane completely uninteractive.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem early on with the Ziggs. It's just that, like, you know, you have your Q and then you wait in 6 seconds.
I mean, you can auto them. You got your short fuse.
Yeah, but it doesn't do that much damage early, and then Ruler's just like auto.
Yeah. All right, Sion has been doing a fair bit of losing. Do you think that's going to continue?
I don't think the odds are that high in this, but we'll see.
I'm glad they got their loss streak graphic out of the way, though, because Kane is generally relatively reliable at stopping those from being a thing. However, if we do want maximum League of Legends today, then that graphic could be very important and a possible reason why we might get it. It's Canyon getting some vision down for his team, but is otherwise just going to be moving towards his scuttle as that one does spawn. And Cuz just going to be moving towards the top side of the map, will be taking the top lane one, not looking for a fight against this Ambessa right now. Yeah,
Ambessa pretty fast paced in the jungle. I've heard this is the thing with champions that get put in the jungle because they have changes to make them do more damage to monsters. You know, Wukong was one who got that, and then they like reduced it. So now he's not that fast of a clearer. But Ambessa, she's pretty fast. So you can see she finished a full clear quicker than the Wukong did. It's not a major issue, but over the game she should outpace the Wukong. And that's kind of the game plan, is that you just clear fast, you aim to get your Eclipse online, because that one item spike is insane, and just kind of have insane value. Yeah. And I think that's generally something we see Gen.G do a lot, just have good value.
Possible look in here for Canyon towards the top side of the map, as we've got a hook connecting onto Ruler, trying to offer a fair bit of damage back, but it's kind of difficult as the Ziggs still doing a fair bit of work here as Duro looking worse for wear, and aiming at full health, able to get underneath this turret and start putting some pressure back on. Look at that, another bouncing bomb landing.
Once you get momentum in the lane as
Lamentum in the lane. Yes.
Momentum in the lane as Ziggs.
He's lamenting the lane with a lemon.
Yes, the lemon in the momentum in the lane as Ziggs.
Polenta and lemon.
You can just keep landing Qs, and you know it's just gonna get worse and worse. So now Ruler's not in a position he can really walk up, and he needs to stack up his passive to really trade. You know, you're all about the burst trades as the Ziggs. You also have TP, so you can have.
Oh, flash out here from BDD as in they go. The egg is now down as Canyon just trying to protect the egg as best he can. And KT are going to be able to pick up first blood for BDD. Canyon will be able to answer with a kill on to the Rise. But still, first blood money over to BDD. Good to be able to talk about that again. And that is high value.
Yeah, I think the fact that you have the egg, the fact that Canyon's able to trade it back means you're pretty okay with it. Especially Golden and Ambessa feels really good. But still a nice early pickup there from KT. Cuz and BDD showing they could do the flash from BDD just at the last second before the stun was activated, and then Cuz is just like, yeah, I'm just gonna kill this egg.
Yeah, fair enough too. And BDD might have been able to get himself out of the way, but then I imagine Cuz would have been under a little bit more threat. I mean, it's a bit difficult. They probably needed a bit of the extra DPS to make sure Chovy couldn't get another round of spells on.
Yeah, the call was like, we have to finish the egg, because in a situation where Chovy comes back and stuns, and I think he still had his flash, so if he stuns and flashes away, then you're really cooked.
Yeah.
So they just, you know, secure the kill, you take that situation.
Wow, what an annoying champion. That's all right, this very aggressive train making his way towards the top side of the map. He'll be clearing out all of these minions very satisfyingly.
Yep. Chovy playing a little bit aggressive. We just have Duro to back him up.
Yep. And Polo going to have to flash. Get out of the way.
Why you don't want to play Nautilus into Anivia.
Well, it's also why you don't want to be keen right now, as Hook didn't connect onto Canyon as well, as Polo is likely to die because everyone's distracted by Keen, who is still alive somehow. There's the Realm Warp getting BDD out of there, though, as the rest of Gen.G now going to move around. Zombie Sion helping out here as well, as another great wall comes through. That's the end of Cuz. As now Perfect.
Can they find BDD?
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did. As the Glacial Storm As Rune Prison comes on through, VODs wanting to give that kill over to Duro, and will be able to do so, and there it is. Perfect, just looking to try and crocodile his way out. And Gen.G looking a little bit better after that one, is now aiming, throwing down a minefield, but
oh, what a satchel.
Ruler just getting thrown around. Yeah.
Oh, the ult!
Mega Inferno Bomb, and Ruler does have the barrier, but he absolutely needed it.
Yep, a lot of pressure there. I will say, though, it was really funny in that passage of play.
Oh, God, that was very scary.
Thank the minions, they helped him out. But that passage of play, because we saw Keen survive so long, so he's kind of coming down here isolated. Meanwhile, Gen.G forced Polu's flash. But he buys so much time, and also because he's a Scion, he's going to die and then have his passive. But the main thing with Scion passive is once it activates, everyone just runs away, right? But because he buys so much time, eventually, when it actually activates, Chovy moves in and walls Cuz in with him. So he just actually get to hit him. So he gets good value from the passive, and then VODs trying to be cheeky, but gets caught out and just dies to the tower.
Yeah, did at least give the kill over to Duro, so I guess best case scenario. And Gen.G only ahead by about 500 gold, not exactly the end of the world. As Canyon looking to start off this Ocean Dragon. You got Cuz moving down, but VODs is a fair way away. No Ghost available either, so should mean that Gen.G will be able to just take down this Dragon. Duro with eyes on where Cuz is.
Man, Duro's so fair.
Yeah, he is. That's 700 gold in the lead. It's kind of ridiculous. As good stun connects onto VODs. As Chovy just flapping around this lane, having a very good time. Well, it's probably going to be relatively slow going in this one, as we do have an Anivia in the game. Of course, very understandably more of a scaling champion. Has been a game delayer of all time.
Oh,
that's a phenomenal wall there from Chovy. As, yeah, illustrating once again exactly what you were talking about there.
Yeah, I said it and it rings true every time I see it. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you got subbed in for this and you're not going to have a fun time. I'm telling you. We're not going to have a fun time.
I hope it was actually Polu's decision and he wasn't just like forced into this, because it's really not looking like a whole lot of fun. Continuing to do so here as well as Polu with the aftershock, but he is just going to get publicly executed as, okay, Cuz going on forward, looking for a bit of an angle here. Is VODs able to fire out a lot of damage? Mega Inferno Bomb avoided majoritively, but VODs will be able to grab the kill onto Duro. And Keen allowed to live this time around as Ruler and Aiming once again fighting this one out. As Aiming, pool party skin as well, so shout outs to that one, definitely the best choice.
It was the right skin.
Indeed.
I will say at least KT's, Polu's teammates got to have fun there. The rest of KT got to have fun in that passage of play. So, you know, Nautilus, no fun allowed, but other people are doing stuff. Aiming also contributing with the ult.
Yeah, and actually doing okay in the 1v1 here in this lane as well. As VODs is almost just dead as he...
Oh, he missed it!
Oh, the flash, and Chovy is able to lock down the kill there. Somehow had enough mana and has a Catalyst, so that's probably why.
Yeah, Catalyst plus tier, it's really deceptive because it looks like he has no mana, but he actually has...
exactly.
Like, he actually has 240 mana right now.
All right, it's stacked up quite a lot.
Yeah, so... deceptive in these situations.
Well, perfect. Unfortunately, to spend some time in the sky unexpectedly. He will unleash their teleports.
It's just a bit unfortunate because I want to see exactly... Okay, we'll see this play first. But yeah, this is just the experience playing a Nautilus into Anivia.
Yeah.
You don't get to play the game. They did commit a lot to it. I don't think that was necessarily.
Cuz got a lot of value on his Wukong as well.
Yeah, did a lot of damage. There is a lot of AoE from the side of KT. They can't just blend the people if they get a bit too close.
이거 미드도 좀 예민해. 라이즈 노텔이라 억지로 라인 풀려한다.
Yep, Chovy having a bit of a chat about the state of the Rise. Oh, that wall was so beautifully done.
Oh, he walked out and then walked back in. He wasn't quite in it.
실수했어.
No comment until there was.
I think it might have been that thing, there was a pause about it, I can't remember where, but ages ago, where like if you pat out at the last second or something, it like...
Yeah, if you're clicking out of it while it goes off, then you don't get in.
Because where was it? Was it Caps who paused for that or something, like ages ago?
Yeah, I remember there was something about it, and it's the way it's coded. If you want to be in it, you need to be clicking in it while it's going off. All right, Duro comes on forward. That is going to be a miss on the public execution from Canyon, though, just barely. As Chovy just throws out a Glacial Storm.
Wait, Canyon went Ojin
you're
instead of Eclipse.
First.
Yeah, so going to be a bit bulkier, but I mean, to be honest, Eclipse is just such an insane spike on Ambassador. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah, it is a little bit strange that he's gone for that one.
But it does mean he's going to be a bit bulkier in comparison to the typical Eclipse.
Well, quest done. Chovy, the first one to do so. 2-1-4 on the Anivia, 700 gold in the lead.
And we can see his, oh no, never mind.
Yeah, nah, it doesn't quite have the shoes yet.
Yeah, we did see Aiming quickly follow with his quest. Also hasn't finished his boots, but they do at least go into his little slot.
Yep, he does have now a little bit more space in the inventory.
Which he did just fill it a second ago with the final triple tonic
hey, there you
item.
go.
So he didn't need the space for a moment. There's the upgraded sock shoes.
Nicely done. Perfect is going to spend time in the sky again.
He knows where Perfect is.
Yeah.
It's like he has map hacks.
I think he probably watched Perfect on that ward walk into that brush. Then the fact that he was hitting him in exactly the right position can confirm that Aiming does not have map hacks. Throws the ulti to Narnia for some reason.
He thought Ruler was recalling that. We've all been there. We've all.
Yeah.
It happens.
Oh, that was almost a bouncing bomb hit. As Ruler is getting quite frustrated by this Ziggs hit on the bottom side. And yeah, now that Ludens is complete, just feels very, very good. Look at that. My gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Does finish the quest, though, finally. Here does Ruler. And we'll be able to probably
one really annoying thing with Ziggs is, so they changed plates.
Yes.
Plates used to be, they got more resistances as you took down the plates. So each plate was the same amount of health, but the lower ones are tankier.
Yeah.
They've changed it, so now lower plates are more health, but the same resistances, so it's a better visual representation.
But it means
Problem is, it means Ziggs can only kill the final plate with a base satchel.
Yeah, kind of.
So
annoying.
it's a bit of a nerf to Ziggs satchel value, because you used to be able to kill a lot more of the tower compared to now.
Very frustrating when there are Ziggs nerfs and you're on a cast with Orcs.
Tragic.
Absolutely. Some water balloons being thrown around here as Zoro taking a fair bit of damage. There's the flash in from Kuz as they're looking to try and take down the rail. Somehow it's her that takes this dragon, and Kuz trying to get some work done, but he's just dead to the Anivia as Chovy taking control of the battlefield. Another fantastic ulti out from Canyon, though, is now Aiming. Now that they've closed the gap, he is very, very dead. Ruler probably wanted that kill, but it's going to go over to the Ambessa. 3-0-3 for Canyon now in this game. And wow, 4-1-4 here for Chovy. It is a rough time for KT.
Yeah, honestly, in that fight, looked like KT had a good concept, you know, going for the... Oh.
Flash forward onto Ruler, who flashes away immediately.
Yeah, going for the dive angle with the Realm Warp in from BDD, trying to get on the back line, but it just felt like they weren't fully able to commit damage onto Chovy. So we'll see the Realm Warp come in to try and commit onto the back line, but so much damage has already been put onto Duro. So, like, you look at Chovy, Nautilus is hitting him a bit of the Wukong ultimate, but Canyon's peeling, the wall comes in, the follow-up's not fully there, BDD backs off a little early, and you can understand because you can tell the fight's lost, but it just felt like the target selection wasn't that good, and the DPS, the consistent damage from Gen.G is really good in return.
Yeah.
And they just kind of blended everyone.
And it was as soon as that bottom side of the fight was won, then the Ambessa immediately gets to ult over to the other side as well. So you just get so much value out of this champion, as Chovy is going to once again just push BDD out of this lane.
You know, I think what BDD could go is they change, you know, the Boots of Swiftness, the tier 3 ones?
Yeah, yeah.
They get 40% slow resist.
That would be pretty good.
It used to be, so it's 25% base, the upgraded ones have 40%. So I actually think that might be the play into Anivia. That being said, Merc Tread's also great because they give the shield and the tenacity, but if you want to like run out of the ult, the swiftness could be decent too.
Might be an angle.
But finishing your boots, definitely solid. That being said, he does want to finish his Archangels, which is also good on Rise.
Oh, teleport in here from Gen.G. Meanwhile, Duro in a little bit of trouble. Is just going to have to flash to get out of the way. Cute little satchel was in position there as Chovy not quite able to join too much of a fight, as it looks like Shelly is going to be the next focus. Canyon very far away from the potential battle as he does have a Krug camp up. As Perfect is almost just dead to Chovy putting down a circle.
Yeah, you don't want to play against Anivia.
No.
As a lot of these champions.
Maybe just at all.
Yeah.
Well, definitely not a 4-1-4 Anivia with a 2,500 gold lead.
Yeah.
That might be part of it, as he does have the most gold in the game. Trying to figure out ways for KT to find their way back into this game is a difficult task, but I will give it to Orcs right now. How does KT get back into this game?
I think picks are a good idea, right? You have a lot of ways to close the distance. If you like realm up on people, that could definitely be viable.
Oh no! Oh, at least he manages to get in and get all of the minions. I thought that maybe Chovy was just going to be able to lock him out from everything ever.
Play around realm warp, play around picks, try and dive on the vulnerable targets. I think that's the MO, right? Ruler's flashless. But I think if they keep you at a safe distance, you're just never going to succeed.
Oh, Dura able to use that crash down very comfortably.
Also, turn back time and don't pick Nautilus.
Yeah, that could be part of it. That could be a pretty good angle here. As Kane just having a really good time here in this bottom lane all alone. And Chovy doing the same thing towards the top side. Getting towards turrets here for KT. It's feeling like a difficulty, especially with Anivia now that she has a couple of items complete. It's just really, really hard for your minions to survive. As at least there's aiming here as well on the Ziggs. Wave clear is something that KT certainly have as well. But I feel like Ruler is feeling a little bit better in this matchup at the same time, and so sort of not a whole lot is going KT's way.
I think it's at the point where you don't really have to interact with the Ziggs. You kind of just clear the wave, and he clears the wave, and you just run away, which is much better than being trapped in a lane and not having as much fun.
Yeah.
As it was earlier.
Well, we didn't actually mention that it's a Hextech Soul. That's a frightening prospect if Gen.G are able to get towards that one. They already have a couple of dragons put together.
If they're already perma-slowed anyway, what difference does it make?
That is a good point. That is a good point. It's like everyone is Anivia once they get that one together.
If everyone's Anivia, then no one is.
Syndrome. What a fantastic character. Okay, KT trying to get this lane together. Did you know that Jack Black turned down being Syndrome in The Incredibles?
I saw that.
You know what? Cool. That being said, I still think whoever... I don't even know who did it, but they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, it was great. I feel like you see so many things with like casting where it's like, oh, this was originally the intention for the character. Like, this is a person we were so set on, but they turned it down and we went for this person, and you just couldn't imagine their original intent.
Yeah. All right, we got a bit of a fight brewing here as Dura going down low, but so is Polu, who is continuing to have a bad time. There is another wall to make his life just unbearable. As now Perfect does get in there with that Dominus popped, and there is the public execution. Oh my goodness, BDD down already, cuz so far away from the fight is Perfect, getting so much work done. My god, this crocodile is gigantic. Everyone on Gen.G just flashing away, but they flash to safety and keep themselves alive, aiming with nothing left in the tank, and he is the last man standing. Gen.G win once again.
Yeah, it was a good effort, honestly, by Perfect, trying to do the most... Oh, Chovy? Well, he's egged. Oh, he's not. He actually... Yeah. I think maybe some Roa healing might have actually saved him. Keen doesn't need Roa healing. He's just a tank.
He is. Polo also just... He hit the hook, and then it was the then what type scenario, and they didn't quite have an answer to that one.
I think the real lesson here is if you see Anivia on the enemy team, never pick Nautilus. Don't even think about it. You look at Polu, he just doesn't get to play the game. He
even flashes, and then Chovy's like, oh, remember I can make your life the worst. And he just puts down another wall.
Yeah, and Perfect comes in. Actually, Duro smashes the shield with his Q that he came in, the max health shield from the teleport.
Yeah.
But Perfect gets a lot of value here, flashing in, doing a lot of damage as of an Ecton. The follow-up's there from Cuz, but it's just not quite enough. You know, you think if they were a little bit less far behind, if there was, maybe a bit more items in the right place, that could have been, but the goal discrepancy is so absurd.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of summoners not there, maybe if Ruler and Chovy didn't have flashes, that could have been, but Gen.G very far ahead at this point.
Yeah, it is cresting the 8,000 mark here at 20 minutes.
You know what? Now I have to move the topic of conversation to something really difficult.
Okay.
That I've been ruminating on for the past 10 minutes.
All right.
POM. Because it's really difficult, because I feel like game 1 and game 2, different vibes, right?
Yeah, massively different. I mean, game 1, it's like Kane 800%.
And then, but I feel like Duro was also great in game 1.
Oh,
then,
true.
Then game 2, it's like Canyon Chovy.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you know.
And like Chovy really just wasn't really doing too much in game number 1. Canyon, very similar story.
Yeah, so where do I go from there? You know?
I don't know. Maybe just go, like, let the recency bias take you.
No, because everyone always
remember how good Keen was.
Yeah, he was really good. And he, you know, he had a lot of cute. Okay, he just played Sion this game, but
he read where perfect was on the map lots of times.
Yeah, it's just difficult because
watch him. No, later on in this game, he's going to hit a quadra Q, and we're just going to.
I mean, look, I already know who the POM is going to be because there's 2 factors at play.
Right.
Firstly, recency bias. And secondly, when in doubt, Chovy. So
that's a very good point.
It's probably going to be Chovy, right? But that doesn't mean my vote necessarily needs to follow those rules. I'm thinking about who I think deserves POM. But it's difficult because I mean, also, Ruler in both games was pretty solid.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Right? I think Ruler's been like, across both games, solid. I mean, he did get kind of beat up in lane, actually, in this one.
I think it depends on what your, like, concept of POM is, you know? Like, is it the average performance level? Is that what gets you it? Or is it the ones that were the most impactful, as Duro?
He did kind of get beat up in lane a lot in this one, but he, you know...
Isn't it sad as well? BDD doesn't even have his mid lane quest shoes yet. And Chovy stole his item.
Yeah, why doesn't he buy boots? That's your quest. Like,
yeah.
Buy boots, BDD, please.
He's trying to work out whether Swifties are actually the best choice.
I've stunned him with this with the decision. You know, is he going Swifties or is he going Merc?
It's all your fault.
Pick one of them. Pick one of them. It doesn't really matter that much. Just pick a boot. Honestly, you can take Sorks or whatever. Take anything, just a boot. There's a lot of AD threats in the team. You can also go play Steel Caps.
So much Crystalline Overgrowth. Here's a POM play from Keen. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the people watching. I'm already leaning into POM under the assumption that KT could still win the series. That is a possibility. Wow, I can't believe I suggested the fact that Gen.G would
Gen.G still have a destroyable Nexus on the map. Yes, that is very true.
That's a possibility. So, you know, sorry for jumping the gun a little bit. I apologize.
I don't know whether you really jumped the gun that much, in all fairness, but, you know, theoretically, there is the ability.
Oh, Polar!
Oh, Polar! Oh, he lived! Okay! Flash and trade! Oh, never mind. Duro is just going to murder him. What the heck was that? That was a very weird interaction. Never you mind, as now Gen.G with a man advantage, but Canyon's very, very low. There's Mega Inferno Bomb as well as they're trying to do the damage here to Ruler. Oh my goodness, the CC is disgusting, but BDD does get a fair bit of damage down. Perfect, unfortunately, not able to do enough. And Gen.G just so good at controlling the battlefield. Ruler, the only casualty in the fight, and that will mean Baron goes down for Gen.G, and they can use that to push, potentially for the win.
That was just domination. And again, just don't play Nautilus. I mean, it's just so funny the fact that it's not just the Anivia, but like, look how targeted. They see him. The Sion Q, the Slurkle, the Wall, the Umbessa ult. He's not a jungler.
Duro was already there.
Yeah, guys, he's not a jungler. He's the support. And they just put so much effort like that. I'd understand if he was the jungler, they're like, let's deal with the smite, but it just feels like he picked Nautilus and it became personal.
Yeah.
Like, they just fully locked into killing him.
And KT, like, they wanted to kill Ruler, and you know what? They did.
They succeeded at that, so credit to them.
Well, Gen.G killed Cuz. They did do that as well. As now aiming, also potentially in a whole bunch of... Oh, that was sick from Keen! Give that man the POM! He deserves it. It's a double kill for the Sion. And yeah, BDD does now have said shoes completed. There that is. It's not going to matter too much as now Perfect dives in on top of Canyon. Canyon not looking too bothered by it as he just kills BDD. There is the ulti as Polo has now provided himself as the target. Why is Canyon's health bar so high?
He doesn't take damage.
He's still just dashing around. Polo's going to die as an afterthought. And yeah, Perfect realizing that he needs to just try and slice his way out of here. There's a Hextech Solox. And that means that Perfect is going to need a little bit more, but he will be able to get back to the fountain and keep himself alive.
He's not a handbag yet.
All right, well, let's see where the Canyon is at. He's not killable.
Guys,
he's not killable. He's just not killable.
He's 4 levels up on Cuz.
What?
He's 4 levels up on Cuz.
I'm so bothered. I mean, I kind of thought that Ambessa now, you know, after a year, is kind of okay. you know, she's an okay spot. It's not the case at all. Now I know why they banned the Ambessa instead of the Rumble in game number 1.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Perfect and Polu, both of them just having the worst time. And the worst part is, they chose this.
Max, who is my POM?
I have no idea.
It's so difficult.
I still think it's Keen. Like,
I mean,
watch this play.
This is
Look
pretty
at Keen.
sick.
Flashes for the knock-up. Well-deserved kill. Watch aiming.
Okay, this predict was good, but he didn't finish the channel on the Q.
Oh, it's still, I mean...
But he still hit him when he got the Hextech slot. It was pretty great. It was pretty cool. It was pretty slick.
But maybe Canyon's going to recency bias his way towards it as... Oh, here's the train to the POM! As in goes Keen, aiming so dead so quickly. Ruler's going to finally get himself another kill in this game.
If we're going by recency bias, that train was the last thing I've seen.
Exactly. There we go, Ox. We've sorted it out. POM for Keen. Phenomenal Scion play in this game. As KT, there is just no... It's almost a 20,000 gold lead.
Wait, look at Polu. Look at Polu.
Polu's trying to have a good time, and it's just not happening. Into the blender once again as the Crocodile is also taken down. BDD and Cuz on their fountain, but it's a triple kill for Ruler. There are 2 members in the fountain here. Everyone quickly dive. Give him the Penta. It looks like Gen.G are not really interested in that as towers are going down. Oh, they're actually going in. They're looking for it. Cuz gonna get taken out, but it's Keen that gets the kill. And that is going to cement his POM for me. That is my vote going over to the Scion 100%. And Gen.G will finish playing with their food and take down KT into 2-0 fashion.
Honestly, a little bit of styling on the opponents. I think game